Hi, my name is Ella Durkin from Blackrock and you're watching the Her Sport Energia AIL show, sponsored by Energia. Think of the possibilities.
Hello and welcome back to the Energia Her Sport AIL Rugby show. I'm Lauren and I'm very excited to join you for another exciting review of the rugby that we have had over the past couple of weeks. It doesn't go without saying that the women's WXV1 campaign finished off in a brilliant second place in that division. That was absolutely incredible for the girls, and we are absolutely delighted about that result. They finished up with a win against Team USA. It's just amazing to see the ladies out there brushing shoulders with the best in the world. But when we kick off with things here back at home, we've had a couple of brilliant weekends of rugby. So if we just take a look at the past couple of weeks, what we've seen here, we'll jump into the action. Some highlights, definitely some brilliant players that we can recognise, especially the likes of Emily McKeown of Wicklow. She really stood out to me in particular. She scored a brilliant 4 tries in that bout against Galwegians. It actually has her placed as top points and try scorer in the women's division right now with a superb 20 points total. USA international Amanda Berta of Railway Union is right behind her there in 19 points. Some other honourable mentions would be Railway Union's Keelan Brady, who scored a hat-trick against Old Belvedere. Also Joanna Mahon of Tullow scoring 2 tries. Amanda Morton kicked 11 points and UL's Kate Flannery scored 14 points. Taking a look then at the match results, it was Old Belvedere 5, UL Bohs 31, Blackrock 15 against Railway Union 22, Galwegians 59, Cook 22, Setonians 5, Wicklow 45, and finally Tullow 10 and Ballincollig with 26. So at the top of the scoreboard table there, it's Wicklow with 15 points. Then coming in second is Railway Union with 13 points. UL Bohs there in third with 11 points. Galwegians with 10 points. Then followed by Ballincollig with 8 points. Setonians with 7. Blackrock with 5. Cook with 5. And Tullow and Belvedere coming in 9th and 10th with no points on the scoreboard. So hopefully those two teams will find themselves moving up that scoreboard in the coming weeks. It is early days, so it's not to panic. These teams are definitely going to find their feet and find their rhythm for sure. So it is early in the season, as I said. Old Belvedere in the last place. Now, if Hannah was here, she would definitely be shouting on for Old Belvedere, but that's not to say that they're not going to move up the table. It's early in the season, and I suppose last season they did finish up higher on that scoreboard, so let's hope that in the coming weeks they'll definitely move on up. Then we look to the top of the table, and it's Wicklow sitting up there, having finished 7th on the table last season. It is brilliant to see them making such a strong return to the season, so kudos to Wicklow. Also back down at the bottom of the table, we do have Tullow. Now, Tullow is a new team in the league this season, so there might be just some time for some teething and for the team just to gather themselves. So we'll hope that they can keep moving up on that board. And getting into the action over the weekend, then we'll get down to the specifics in each match. But before we jump in, we want to just include the campaign that Her Sport have just launched, and that is the Do It For Her campaign. Now, in honour of the International Day of the Girl, this campaign has been launched to share the incredibly powerful message to encourage every girl to dream big. And so, without further ado, we hope you do stay tuned. We also want to mention that you might see a few of these faces in the upcoming rugby in the future. A few of these girls are members of the Old Belvedere Club, so do keep an eye out for these because they could be the future stars of the rugby scene. So we'll be right back with all the rugby action right after this. We do hope you enjoy our Do It For Her campaign.
I'm going to tell you a story about a spark. Well, she's more like a flame. When she first stepped onto that pitch, and everyone who saw that knew, she knew, this wasn't just a game. It was everything to her. But they didn't see the vision, did they? They called it a phase, a passing thing. They smiled, said that's cute.
But she wasn't playing cute.
And those nights, the late ones, with just a glow of a screen, watching her heroes, wishing, thinking, one day, that'll be me. But the world kept saying, not yet. Maybe not ever. You know what that's like, don't you? When the world tells you no, but your heart says why not? And that's where it starts, in the heart. It's where dreams are born and where they fight to survive. But they didn't see what was in her heart, did they? The ones who said she was too small, too quiet, too weak. They didn't see what she carried inside. She was a fire that wouldn't go out, one that no extinguisher could defeat. And you see it now, don't you? That fire, that light, it's in her eyes, and it's in yours too. I do it for her. For every girl that was told, no, not you. I say yes, yes you. And now she is not alone. Not anymore. For every doubt, there's a cheer. For every barrier, a hand to lift her up. This isn't just sport. This is a revolution in every swing, in every kick, in every step, in every flick. For the ones that came before and the ones that'll come tomorrow. I do it because I believe in her. And my lead, I hope you'll follow. So the next time you see that flame, don't just let it burn to exhaustion. Give it oxygen, fan it, feed it, protect it. Because one day she'll light up the world. And when they ask, why do you do it? You'll smile. And you'll stay. I do it for her.
You're very welcome back to the Energia Her Sport AIL Rugby show here with Lauren. I'm very excited to jump into all of the action, but we do hope that you enjoyed the Do It For Her campaign. It is an incredible, incredible campaign. And, you know, if you can just share that as much as you can, we have it up on our Instagram page and our social media. So do please share it because it's a wonderful message to get across to young girls aspiring to be a sports star in the future. So if we just get back into the action, looking back on that table, we discussed those sitting at the top, those sitting at the bottom, and then just in the middle, we do have Galwegians there in 5th, followed by Suttonians, Blackrock and Cook and Tullow. And again, I do hope that these will all change, especially for Old Belvo sitting down the bottom. We do hope they can move on up. But there's so many teams in this league that, you know, anything is possible and it's early days. So yeah, we'll definitely see some changes to the scoreboard, hopefully. And it is hard to pinpoint why these performances might not be there right now. But it could be an accumulation of all these sorts of things. So hopefully the teams can find their feet. And going into round 3, and this weekend will be round 4. So we're moving on in good time. It's also important to note that these episodes are in audio version as well. So if you're listening in the car, you can definitely play the audio. You don't always have to play here on YouTube. So yeah, if we have a look at last week's game against Old Belvedere against UL Bohs. So Old Belvo definitely had some ground to make up. They didn't pick up any points in the first 2 rounds. So coming into this match, they were definitely looking to pick up some points. Coming into this match, they were ranked 10th, while UL Bohs were sitting at 4th. A couple of mentions for Old Belvo. Megan Edwards, she scored a try, but it didn't seem to have a patch on UL Bohs, who finished with 31. So the question is, can UL Bohs go unbeaten this season? They nearly managed it last season, but unfortunately they didn't when they just qualified for the final. However, it is also worth mentioning the scorers for UL Bohs. We see Chisholm Oguero, Chloe Pierce, Myrne Wall. I know last episode we discussed with Hannah about Chisholm on that last episode. She's definitely a solid player to keep an eye out for. Over to Fiona Hayes' side at the UL Bohs, last season's champions. So Tanya Ross's side would have definitely been looking to battle it out for this match. Now, despite the 2 opening matches, they were a bit disappointing for both these teams. However, we must mention that Old Belvo had some brilliant performances in their halfbacks with Ellie O'Sullivan Sexton and Jade Gaffney just there. It's also great to see some younger athletes come through. Have to mention Jane Neal there. She is the Ireland under-20 captain. And it's just great to see that in the AIL League that these athletes are getting the chance to develop and be seen and just really mix with more experienced players. So just to finish that off, the UL Bohs will definitely be on the hunt to defend their title, and plenty of players in the squad are looking to claim their Ireland caps, which is exactly what the AIL League can offer them. So moving to the next match there, it was Blackrock against Railway Union. Blackrock 15, Railway Union with 22. So these 2 teams, they make for an interesting and exciting game because they are South Dublin rivals, which is always great coming into a match to have a bit of a background between 2 teams and get a bit of an excitement going. They're freshly back from hard-fought comeback victories. Blackrock claiming their win against Old Belvo last week, thanks to Maya Alcorn's 2-try cameo. Railway Union opened their winning form against UL Bohs in a very tight match. Only 1 point separated the 2 in that scoreline. And Ireland dual international Claire Bowles was Railway Union's late scoring hero away to UL Bohs last week. And both teams actually have some new players to their roster. I must mention one player who has stood out to us from Railway Union, and that is USA International's Amanda Berta. She actually played for the USA Eagles, so that's super cool. And in that match, she scored 3 tries from the wing in last week's match. And Blackrock are also betting in some threatening players there as well of their own, including Connacht's Ava Ryder. She's a former Railway winger, actually. And also another mention is Hannah O'Connor, the Blackrock college captain. She also captained for Leinster alongside Christy Haney, who we chatted to in the previous episode as well. And looking at the scoreboard, we were thinking that if you consider that Blackrock came into this match in 7th position and Railway Union in 2nd, Blackrock are definitely showing that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this season. And of course, Railway Union are definitely looking to make a dominant return after finishing runners-up last season to UL Bohs. And then if we move on to our next match, Galwegians 59 and Cook 22. So the Galway tribeswomen were the dominant force in this match, as you can tell by the scoreline. They're definitely rewriting their wrongs on their first trip away to Wicklow in a 38-point defeat. So that was a disappointing one, but good to see that they're back in good form. They are under the new coach of Jack Clark. So hopefully, the squad are finding their rhythm, especially under new coaching. It's great to see them finding their feet. They won their first round match of this season against Ballincollig. Then, of course, had that second match loss to Wicklow. So definitely great to see them back on the rise again. And we must mention Emily Foley. She's a regular scorer for Galwegians. She's definitely a class player. She's only 18 years old, but is obviously so experienced now. And she represented the Ireland 7 squad for the European Championships in July. And she scored 3 tries in that match. So it's brilliant to see Emily there and hopefully continues to progress into her career. Aisling Quinn, another mentionable player there. She captained the Ireland under-18s last season. She made her Energia AIL debut. The Ballina youngster is in the back row for Galwegians. Now, she hasn't managed to score yet, but it's great to see her beginning her Energia AIL career, and she can only go up from here. The player coach, Emily McKeown, is another player to mention. She ran in a brace of tries, taking her early season's count to 4 already. And over to Cook had a huge success in their previous journey to Crowley Park when they put 5 tries past Tullow. And that was 2 weeks ago. The Belfast side have some players that are definitely worth mentioning. 3 of their forwards making a difference to the score sheet, including former Ireland props Van Staden, who is 41 years old, and she is playing just as well as ever. So it's definitely an inspirational player there for all of us. And then moving on to our next game, that was last weekend, Suttonians 5 and Wicklow 45. So a bit of a difference in this scoreboard, but these are the matches that definitely show that the AIL League is an exciting one to tune into, because Wicklow should definitely feel confident after that one. They're currently sitting at the top of the table, as we checked that earlier in the episode. It's definitely worth mentioning also that Suttonians actually have another American in the league, and that is Energia Madian. Now, even though having the likes of the American talent on the team, they still put it up. Wicklow still put it up to Suttonians. And just to mention a few other players, there's Wicklow's player coach, Emily McKeown, and she played an instrumental role in helping the Dubliners to win the Women's Division Conference title in 2022. With her new club, the elusive winger has already racked up 4 tries, and that's only in 2 games. So very impressive player there. And Wicklow's Quiva Malloy is also another key figure to mention. And she's got the experience of playing for Leinster and is also a former Blackrock College prop. So another very experienced player there, and just great to see them play in the AIL League. And moving to our next match, we had Tullow 10, Ballincollig 26. So it's a first win of the campaign for Ballincollig, which is very exciting. For Tullow, it's just a few weeks into their first season as an All-Ireland League club. So we have to understand that it might take a few matches for the girls to just find their flow with each other, which is absolutely understandable. There's a Tullow player that we must mention, and that has to go to the powerful prop. That is Joanna Mahon. And she's chasing tries, having scored 2 already in the opening matches of the season. Ballincollig will be happy with that strong charge in this match, especially after the 4 first half tries they gave to Cook last time out. So they're definitely back for revenge in this match. Ballincollig have averaged just 13.5 points per match so far. So Helen Brosnan and the rest of the management team will be focused on creating and converting more chances in these games. And some players to mention has to go to Munster's forward Aviva McGrath. She's showing a promising future in the Ballincollig colours. She had a try-scoring contribution against Suttonians in the second match of this season, and both players have 3 league seasons in their armoury. So it's all that experience that they're gaining is just brilliant for these teams, game on game. And Michelle O'Driscoll, she led by example in the midfield. So the Cork representatives are clearly favoured here. So there's plenty of action there. Lots for us to get through, and lucky for us, it's still very early in this Energia AIL Rugby season. So there's plenty more exciting games to come. Well, we'll be right back after this. We have a very interesting little clip to play for you all, and it's actually the players getting very artsy. So we've got Old Belvo, Tullow, Ballincollig and Wicklow players all showing off their artistic skills. So definitely do stay tuned and keep an eye out for that clip coming your way now. But definitely come back to us and we will be right back after the break with lots of more rugby action.
Hey, welcome to Art Attack. Can I turn it portrait? I can do it. I won't be the best, but I think I can. I hope I'm drawing the right one.
I'm thinking, I know it's just like the shape of a shield. I know there's a boar in the middle. I will not be able to draw the boar, I'll be honest.
I'm going with just, your bog standard crest shape. So there's like a bit of grass at the bottom, and then there's this weird, it's kind of like a light thing. And I should know this because after we won last year, we all got Robin tattoos. So, yeah. I mean, if you showed it to a child, would they know if that's a wolf? I don't think so.
I know there's like two colors, like in the middle, that's what it looks like.
There's some lovely Belvo stripes, the black and white, and bleed black and white, guys. I think that's it. I'm a bit ashamed. I was thinking I drew the wrong one. Well, look, it's pretty good. Except for the bird should be 3 crowns and Ballincollig at the top. I did it the wrong way around. Oh, the Belvedere. And yeah, that's supposed to be down there.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that clip there. We've definitely got a few Van Goghs in the AIL Rugby League. But just to show you the next clip that we have, I got to catch up with Railway Union's Leah Tarpey. Absolute pleasure to chat to. And she just discussed her personal rugby season so far and how Railway Union are getting on as well, and just a little bit of an insight into her life as a rugby player. So enjoy this and we'll be right back after this.
Just to jump straight in, it's still early days obviously in the season, but how are you finding it so far and how is Railway finding it?
Yeah, I mean, off to a great start so far, 3 from 3. Can't complain with that. Obviously, there's things we need to work on and stuff like that, but I think we're going well so far and we're on an upward trajectory. I think every game we get better and stronger, and I can really see the cohesion coming with every game and every training session. And it's just, I do love the club, and it's always so competitive at training, and even at club level, it's you have to fight for your position. So it's it keeps you on your toes, and everyone's just pushing each other. So it's a really good environment to be in. And then we're pushing each other in training, and then when it comes to matches, we're doing the same as well. So it's really good. I'm really happy so far. So hopefully we can just keep that going, keep the momentum going.
Brilliant. And like you said, with everyone encouraging each other, with everyone's skill improving all the time, that's brilliant for you as a player. And I suppose in that pre-season period, and with the loss of last season, did everyone kind of feel spurred on and push each other even more?
Yeah, definitely. I don't feel like there was any sense of disappointment or oh, if we couldn't get it last year, we're not going to get it again. It kind of was just okay, it happened. We're going to push that aside, focused on next year. And it's more so we're taking it game by game. We're not focused on whether or not we're getting into a final or anything like that, because it's so early on. But every game is, crucial for us, and we want to win every game. And that's the path we kind of want to go on this year. Win every game and then get to the final. And if we do, and just keep going that way,
Oh, brilliant. Well, very best of luck at it, and I hope you do. But looking back on that final, what was it like to play in the Aviva, and was it one of those pinch me moments?
Yeah, it was amazing. Nothing I ever thought I'd be able to say I did. I just thought it was a really big step in the women's game, just for us to be able to step out onto the Aviva, play there for club even. And it was amazing experience. I know we lost on the day, but it was still one of those moments where I was just wow, when am I going to be here again, or am I going to be here again, or it was just, I was trying to take it all in. It was definitely a big day, regardless of the match. It was just I'm in the Aviva, I'm on the pitch, like this is what it feels like. Wow. Just trying to imagine it from like the men's perspectives, like how they must feel when they walk onto the pitch to a full crowd, like must be surreal. Like
Of course, but how amazing for the women to now be playing on that pitch as well,
exactly,
you know?
yeah. It's massive, massive. I think it really I can't even put into words, but like everybody was just so excited about it, and it just made the whole occasion more special, and like for family to be there and see us. Like I think I was in the Aviva once before as a child, like just like playing with like some mini team. I'm not even sure it was, I think it was like football or something we were in there for, but I remember like that was the only time I've been there, and I was thinking like I'm never going to be here again, like wow, like as a child, like, and then coming back as a rugby player, playing with my club and playing with my teammates like there on that pitch with my family there to support, it just made the occasion so much more special.
Oh, well, that's amazing. And yeah, plenty more of them to come, that's for sure. And I suppose, how has playing in the Energia AIL season helped develop you as a player? Like you were saying, your teammates, you know, they push you on, but maybe even the matches against the other teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's very competitive this year. And definitely when all the players come back from the Irish setup, they'll, add a bit more competitiveness to it as well. And, it'll just be taken up another notch. But it's definitely nice to be involved from the start with club. Like obviously last year I was in and out and like came in the tail end of the season. And it didn't give me that like chance to like bond with the players as much, or like really get into the team, that kind of way where you feel like you're part of something and it's special, and so it's nice to be there from the start and really just jump into training and give it everything and just build connections with the girls on and off the pitch. And then obviously, as you said, like the other teams, like just there's nothing like it, getting game time week in, week out. Like it's what I need as a player, just to get consistent game time and just keep trying to get better and better. And that's the only way I'm going to do it. So I'm delighted.
Absolutely. And not only are you getting that great experience, but you're also getting exposure, like there's huge amount of coverage on the games now. So, the more you get to play and fight for your position, the more you'll be seen and spotted.
Yeah.
And maybe on a personal level, how do you feel about your performance right now?
What happened there?
Oh, did I lose you?
Sorry, did I cut out there, I think?
Just for a second.
But yeah, my screen just went off. So sorry about
Sorry.
that. What were you saying?
But I was just saying, like, maybe on a personal level, how you feel about your performance right now and how you've been training.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the type of player who, I need consistency, I need consistent training, consistent game time, and that's the only way I'm going to get better. And I'm surrounded by people at Railway that, they're willing to try new things, and they're like pushing these high standards, and it's like you do something wrong, it's like, okay, I need to be better for myself and I need to be better for the team. Like it's that kind of environment, and it's not like, it's not in a way where it's negative at all. It's very positive. Like it's like, okay, you made a mistake, but this is how you fix it. The coaches are there for constant feedback, and they're like, okay, we'll sit down one-to-one, and that's invaluable. Like that kind of like support and feedback is invaluable as a player, because I need that as well. Like I need to know what did I do wrong? What can I do better? Like, and that's how I learn, by making mistakes and learning from them. But yeah, as I said, game time, I just think I've started off, strong enough, but I know that like as the season goes on, we'll only get stronger, like myself and as the team as a whole. So
that's amazing. And you probably don't even realize, but you're probably inspiring like so many other young athletes, like besides your sister, and because like young girls would be looking up to you as well now, which is amazing.
Yeah, I hope so. I that's what I set out to do. Like I want to, if it's one person, I want to inspire one person to pick up a rugby ball, because I found my love for the sport when I started. So if I could give that to someone else, like that's all I want. And I'm trying to do that with my social media. I'm trying to put out more content on TikTok, Instagram, just to like give a bit of insight into rugby and how it all works, and like the female rugby and women's sport and all that, and like how you can get into it and stuff like that. I just want to give those kind of insights to people, so someone scrolling on TikTok might be like, oh, what's she doing? Oh, it's rugby. Oh, I might give that a try. Like, no pun intended, sorry.
We also have a few snapshot questions. Your favorite skill to practice?
Kicking.
What's your...
me and Nikki Cahy always practice before training.
Really? Would you get
together. She's been
too?
teaching me like technique and like different kind of kicks and bits like that. So it's been good.
Class. What's your pre-match song?
Back in Black by AC/DC.
Okay, cool. Any pre-match superstitions?
I'd have the same breakfast. I'd always have like overnight oats. Overnight oats, and I'd wear compression socks the night before on my calves. And is there anything else? I'd have a squares bar. Either if we're on the bus on the way, or if I'm driving, like I'll always have a squares bar with me, just the normal marshmallow one, just the normal white one. I'd have that, like, I'd say just before I get to the stadium.
Bit of a sugar kick. Your rugby idol or inspiration?
From a centre aspect, I'd probably say Emily Scarrett. I've definitely, since I started, I've looked up to her and kind of just looking at her game, and she's someone that I've been watching for a while now, and yeah, I'd say her. And I even like Aoife Dalton, playing with her. I love watching her play. I love playing with her, and I learn so much every time I play with her. And just her defensive reads, she's class, and that's something I'm definitely trying to pick up on, but easier said than done.
Amazing. If you played another sport, what would it be?
See, I did football and I played with Leash for ages, so like I'd probably go back and play football, or I did swimming as well.
What's the toughest aspect to training?
All of it. It's very tough. Like our training sessions with Railway are very tough, but I love it. It's a mixture of like fitness, but it's worked into like games. So we do like Canadian touch or something like that at the start to just kind of get the legs going, the heart rate's up. And then we'd move into just like getting detail and so everybody's on the same page. And then we'd go into, so on a Tuesday night we'd go into then a game, 15v15, and it's full contact. It's just have at it, everyone kill each other. And so yeah, I'd say that Thursdays are a bit easier, but you definitely always have to be switched on and know your stuff, because you'd be caught out if you don't, because we're always detail oriented, and it's on everyone to know their stuff when they come to training, and there's no room for lack of knowing your stuff.
Right, yeah, and that's the environment you want to train in.
Yeah, definitely.
You're saying you're definitely getting pushed in the right direction anyway. Yeah. Well, that's brilliant, Leah. Thank you so much. You've been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome back to the Her Sport Energia AIL Rugby show, brought to you by Energia. I'm Lauren, and I'm very excited to get all back into the rugby action, we're going to take a look at some of the fixtures that we have coming up this weekend. So that is on Saturday, the 26th of October, starting off with Ballincollig versus Old Belvedere at 3 p.m. in Tanner Park, Cook versus UL Bohs at 5 p.m. in Shaw's Bridge, Galwegians versus Tullow at 5 p.m. in Crawley Park, Suttonians versus Railway Union at 5 p.m. in Willow Lodge, and Wicklow versus Blackrock College at 5 p.m. in Ashtown Lane. So those will definitely be some very exciting rugby matches to get to. You can always follow them along at Irish Rugby Live, or you just can't beat being there in person. And you can purchase your tickets on irishrugby.ie. So definitely be sure to get your tickets and support the ladies, because you can't beat playing a match with lots of support there, and the shouting of fans will definitely egg the girls on as well. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up on all things Energia AIL Rugby with you guys. We're delighted that you guys joined us again, and be sure to keep an eye on our socials where you can hear when our next episode is out, and keep an eye on all of the AIL Rugby action on our YouTube channels, our social media channels, and even on irishrugby.ie as well. So that's all from us here at the Her Sport Energia Rugby Show, which is brought to you by Energia, and we will catch up with you next time.